Welcome into the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. Coming up, gearing up for the Christmas season, new commanding officers set for their first holiday leading the Elgin Salvation Army. Also, optimistic about a papal visit. Pritzker meets with Pope Leo in Rome and extends an invite to Chicago. And demolition is set for former Bolger Farm in Wheaton. We're marching our way up to 50 degrees today as our high with a low of 40. Tomorrow we've got a high of 49 and a low of 29. Sunshine finally shows up on Saturday with a high of 51 and a low of 36. Continuing on to Sunday, where we get a few more degrees with a high of 57. These are the lottery numbers for Wednesday, November 19th. The midday pick 3 comes in at 649 with a 0 on the end. The midday pick 4, 4696 with a 1. And the evening pick 3, 366 with a 4 as that fireball on the end. And evening pick 4, 8222 with a 3. The midday lucky, 8, 23, 32, 40, and 41. The evening lucky, 2, 6, 12, 36, 41. And the Powerball, 10, 31, 49, 51, and 68. Remember, you have up to 1 year to claim your prize. Good luck. Wheeling trustees will host a charity pancake breakfast Saturday, benefiting families that have lost federal food assistance benefits. The gathering is set to run from 8 to 10:30 a.m. at the Wheeling Police Station, 1 Community Boulevard. The admission fee is a canned or non-perishable food item. Cash donations to the nonprofit group Wheeling Helping Hands will be accepted too. And vote-by-mail applications are starting December 17th. Lake County voters can apply online at lakevoterpower.info for a vote-by-mail ballot for the March 17th, 2026 general primary election. Applying early ensures plenty of time to receive, complete, and return a ballot safely and securely. First day to vote by mail ballots for March primary is February 5th. When we come back, Aurora firefighters protest proposed budget cuts. Also, some of our headline stories today: gearing up for Christmas, new commanding officers set for their first holidays leading the Elgin Salvation Army. You're listening to the WRMN News. Stick around, we've got more right after this.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
Want to read some action-packed, exciting pulp fiction? Read the works of Michael Tooman, now featuring the international crime thriller, I Married a Bot Madam. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. The paperback is also available at other book retailers. Check out Michael Tuman's webpage at Scilink.net. That's Papa Sierra Yankee Lima India November Kilo dot November Echo Tango.
The new novel, titled DUI Jury Trial, is the true story of two lawyers who defend a truck driver who is charged with DUI. If he's convicted, this truck driver faces a lifetime disqualification of his commercial driver's license, which would prevent him from ever driving a truck again. This 3-year legal battle culminates in a courtroom showdown, which involves the testimony of a DUI expert witness. This book, DUI Jury Trial, is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. The second installment of the 2024 property tax bill released to Cook County property owners on November 14th included an error in the taxing district breakout on some property tax bills, which has caused confusion for some residents. The line items for, quote, Village of Mount Prospect Liberty Fund and the County of Cook are displayed incorrectly on some tax bills. Specifically, the Mount Prospect Public Library's 2023 tax amount has been incorrectly included within the amount shown for Cook County. As a result, the bill appears to show a 100% increase in library taxes and a 68% decrease for Cook County, both of which are inaccurate. The 2024 tax amounts are correct. The issue affects only the 2023 tax and difference columns. As of Monday morning, the library did not have a statement from the Cook County Treasurer's Office regarding the error or whether it intends to issue corrected bills. The library will share more information when it becomes available. For updates, visit mppl.org. The first Chipotle restaurant in Carroll Stream at 114 South Schmale Road is on schedule to open the first week of December, according to village officials. The restaurant was built on a vacant site at the Carroll Stream Marketplace Shopping Center, which is anchored by Angelino Caputo's Fresh Markets. The new 2,400 square foot Chipotle restaurant will offer a Chipotlane that allows customers to pick up digital orders from their vehicles rather than ordering at a menu board and paying at a drive-through window. Indoor and outdoor seating will be provided. And Aurora residents can learn more about the 2026 proposed budget and ask questions during the upcoming budget town hall from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday at the Public Works facility at 2185 Liberty Street in Aurora. Sign up by visiting tinyurl.com MUFFFCUB. Including that, Aurora firefighters protest the proposed budget cuts. The union representing Aurora's firefighters is speaking out against Mayor John Lesch's proposed 2026 budget, saying he and the fire chief are not being truthful when they say having fewer workers won't hurt public safety. President Ron Dubiel wrote for the union in a statement, "It is misleading and factually inaccurate to suggest that eliminating 18 firefighters, 3 battalion chiefs, 1 training officer, and 2 fire trucks, regardless of the method, will not affect emergency response, readiness, or service delivery. That was wrote again, Union President Ron Dubiel in a statement for the Local 99 of the International Association of Firefighters, posted on its website and Facebook page Wednesday morning. He said, quote, "To claim otherwise is irresponsible." The statement is a response to a joint statement released Monday by LESH, Fire Chief Dave McCabe, and Police Chief Matt Thomas in response to criticism that public safety would suffer under the proposed budget. The IAFF statement says the cuts won't save money because they will likely result in higher spending on overtime pay. It believes reduced staffing will also lead to more injuries, thus increasing workers' compensation claims and paid leaves for injuries. The IAFF statement said, "We demand transparency, accountability, and staffing decisions that prioritize public safety over short-term budgeting optics." Monday's statement from the mayor and chiefs said police and fire absorbed the smallest reduction of any city department. Other departments saw reductions of 10 to 20%, it said. The budget proposes mothballing 2 of the city's 4 ladder trucks. It would also eliminate the cadet program for the police and fire departments and reduce the number of authorized police officer positions by 11. In 2025, the fire department was authorized to have the full-time equivalent of 271 employees. The 2026 budget proposes 250 full-time equivalents. It said the proposed 2026 budget for the fire department is $1.5 million higher than the 2025 budget and $7.1 million higher for the police department. Lesh said in a statement, "Our residents will not see a reduction in services they depend on. Response times, emergency services, and fire protection remain fully secured. Correcting our financial course is difficult, but we are doing it in a responsible manner that does not compromise safety." McCabe said in a joint statement, "We are deliberate in protecting our emergency response capabilities and maintaining the operational readiness our residents rely on every day. I'm continuously inspired by the dedication of the men and women of this department, and our community should feel confident that fire protection and emergency response remain our highest priorities." Thomas said that the police department, quote, "is not being gutted." The 2026 budget takes effect January 1st. The City Council is scheduled to vote on it December 9th. City offered incentives this fall to get people to quit as a way to save money on staffing. Overall, 40 employees took the buyouts. Of those, 12 were members of the firefighters union, and 1 was a unionized police worker. The firefighters union contract expires December 31st. For more about this and to follow this story, head on over to the Daily Herald. That's thedailyherald.com. Read their e-edition every single morning. Subscriptions are easy to come by. When we come back, we'll talk about gearing up for the Christmas season. The new commanding officers set for their first holiday leading the Elgin Salvation Army. You're listening to the WRMN News.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person. Complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest. Welcome back to the WRMN News. Gearing up for the Christmas season, the new commanding officers set for their first holidays leading Elgin Salvation Army. You can find this story right on the front page of the Daily Herald. Go check it out, dailyherald.com. It's the most wonderful and busiest time of the year for the Salvation Army Elgin Corps as it prepares for help approximately 500 families in need during the holidays while focusing on its biggest fundraiser with the annual Red Kettle program. And the organization is doing it with new commanding officers. Lieutenant Scott and Allison Rodriguez arrived in Elgin about 5 months ago after graduating from the Salvation Army College for Officer Training. Allison Rodriguez said, "We've really enjoyed getting to know the community, connecting with people, and learning what the needs are and how we can be facilitators to help." The Elgin Corps, which also serves Carpentersville, East and West Dundee, South Elgin, and Streamwood, is collecting toys for 1,200 children through its Angel Tree program. Allison said, "We really need the community support because a lot of these kids won't have anything for Christmas otherwise." The Salvation Army has an angel tree inside the Walmart store at 1100 South Randall Road in Elgin. Shoppers can pull tags from the tree, purchase items, and leave them at the store to be picked up. There are other angel trees in the lobbies of multiple local businesses. Meanwhile, anyone who wants to donate new, unwrapped gifts can drop them off at the Elgin Corps Community Center at 316 Douglas Avenue. People can also order gifts from Amazon or other online retailers and have them shipped to the community center. As the Salvation Army works to make Christmas merry for local families, it's already a couple of weeks into its annual Red Kettle campaign. Money raised from the iconic Red Kettles funds about 70% of the division's programs and services. Every year, as Christmas goes, so goes the Salvation Army, said Rick Reiner, Development Director for the Salvation Army Elgin Corps. If we have a bad fundraising year, we have to drastically reduce the number of people we serve. Services include emergency rent and utility assistance, a home goods pantry, food assistance, and myriad programs for kids and senior citizens. This year's fundraising goal is $235,000. Scott Rodriguez said that when people give to the Salvation Army, they're really just giving back to their own community. All the money raised through their annual kettle campaigns around the country stays in the communities where it was collected. He said, the Salvation Army is what it is because of the people who give. The highlight should be on the community. It's really people helping each other, and we're just the middleman. The company said they both grew up in the Army, but Allison has a special connection to Elgin. Her grandfather was an officer there from 1974 to 1978. She said, to be a part of this, to get to bear witness to these stories about how the Army has helped people, how the community has supported one another through the Army in Elgin for 130 years, is a real privilege. To volunteer, go to salvationarmy.usa.org/USA-central-territory/bell-ringing. There's also an online kettle at elginredkettle.org, where people can make donations that go directly to the Elgin Corps. Again, you could find this and many other stories over at the Daily Herald. The high of today on this cloudy day is 50 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to get a high of 49 and a low of 29, and that same cloud coverage. Saturday, the sun finally starts to peek out with that high of 51 and a low of 31. Sunday comes in with that same peak of a sunshine, but we get a few more degrees as we get to a high of 57. You're listening to the WRMN News here on WRMN. Don't forget that you can find it on YouTube. That's youtube.com. You can find us at WRMN Radio. Don't forget, you can always listen online and see all of the great happenings here at WRMN by going to WRMN1410.com. You can find news articles, you can find the show schedule, and you can find different things all about the hosts and shows that happen here at the station. Continue to listen to WRMN 1410 because we've got more WRMN News coming up after this.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Rain X. City of Aurora officials are pushing back against concerns about cuts to public safety in the 2026 budget. The mayor, police chief, and fire chief say all city departments face reductions, but police and fire will see the smallest cuts. In fact, the police budget is set to increase by 7.1%, and the fire department's funding rises by $1.5 million compared to 2025. Officials stress that residents will not see a drop in law enforcement or fire services, calling this budget a result of collaboration, shared sacrifice, and problem solving across all city departments. The Kane County Board has postponed a vote to fill the vacant District 2 seat left by the late Dale Berman. Chairman Corrine Pirog had recommended Mary Berman, Dale's widow, but she was the lowest-ranked candidate in a review committee. Other applicants who are running in the March Democratic primary raised concerns about giving an appointee an incumbent advantage. After a closed session discussion, the board tabled the vote with no new date set. By law, the seat must be filled within 60 days of Berman's passing. Illinois is going digital digital. Secretary of State Alexei Giannoulis announced that starting today, residents can add their driver's license or state ID to Apple Wallet. Using facial reconstruction and ID scanning, users can securely verify their identity and use their digital ID at TSA checkpoints, select businesses, and online services. Privacy is a priority. Venues can only see the information they need, like age, while other details remain hidden. Physical IDs are still required, and the program will soon expand to Google and Samsung wallets. FEMA's acting administrator David Richardson has resigned. Multiple reports say Richardson was likely to be pushed out by the Trump administration over concerns about his performance. Karen Evans, a Trump ally, is set to step in on December 1st, just after hurricane season ends.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. Today, cloudy with a chance of drizzle after 3 p.m. and a high near 46, with temperatures falling to around 44 in the afternoon. Tonight, cloudy with a chance of drizzle before 9 p.m. and a low around 42. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 51. Currently, it is 44 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. Optimistic about a papal visit, Pritzker meets Pope Leo in Rome to extend invite to Chicago. A private meeting between Governor J.B. Pritzker and Pope Leo in Rome is raising hopes that the suburban native will return to Chicago for a visit. Pritzker and his wife, M.K., spent time with the pontiff at Vatican City Wednesday morning, representing state residents and the millions of Catholics who call Illinois their home, officials said. It was an honor for MK and me to meet the Pontifex a son of Illinois to express the pride and reverence of the people of this great state, Pritzker said in a statement. Pope Leo's message of hope, compassion, unity, and peace resonates with Illinoisans of all faith and traditions. Also, he said, I didn't just ask him about coming to Chicago. I delivered him an invitation, Pritzker told NBC5. We are prepared to receive him. There's a level of excitement that he can only imagine. And he was optimistic. The first American Pope and Chicago White Sox fan was born Robert Prevost at Mercy Hospital on the South Side and raised in Dalton. The Pritzkers presented Pope Leo with artwork from an incarcerated woman at Logan Correctional Facility, along with books about President Lincoln and the history of the governor's mansion. The Pope also received a pack of De Pope, a mild American ale crafted by Burning Bush Breweries in Chicago. Pritzker told NBC, you can feel his humanity. It was a special moment even for this Jewish boy. The last papal visit to the city was October in 1979, when Pope John Paul II celebrated Mass before thousands of worshipers in Grant Park. Pope Leo has spoken out against the mistreatment of immigrants during raids by federal agents, including a crackdown in Chicago. On Tuesday, he supported a recent U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops message that criticized mass deportations and the fear it caused in immigrant neighborhoods. The Pope noted, but when people are living good lives, and many of them for 10, 15, 20 years, to treat them in a way that is extremely disrespectful, to say the least. And there's been some violence, unfortunately. I think that the bishops have been very clear on what they said. Pritzker told NBC the two discussed the situation, and he currently feels strongly about this. He wanted to hear my views. Head on over to the Daily Herald for more about this and other stories. We'll also hit little free pantries helping the hungry during this time, but first, let me get to a few smaller stories. We reported yesterday about a Naperville fire, but one person is hospitalized after a car crash in McHenry County. We'll go to that as well as a few other stories here when we come back after this break. You're listening to the WRMN News here on WRMN 1410.
I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, They're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
They were best friends, inseparable in fact, until the day Miguel died. Every day his friend visited Miguel's grave. Rain, wind, weekends, holidays, every day. Miguel's closest friend, Capitan, his German Shepherd, is a symbol of loyalty to which we can all aspire. Loyalty. Pass it on from passiton.com.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. A fire fully engulfs a shed and spreads to surrounding grass before being extinguished in Ingleside. This happened yesterday. The fire engulfed a shed and began spreading to nearby vegetation after possibly being started by a burn pile in the backyard of a home in the 28400 block of West Treetop Road in Ingleside Monday afternoon. Firefighters extinguished a fire that left a shed engulfed in flames and began spreading to surrounding grass behind the homes in Ingleside, fire officials said. The Fox Lake Protection District responded around 2:30 p.m. Monday of the West Treetop Road in Ingleside for a report of a structure fire. Multiple 911 callers reported a shed was on fire as well as the grass. The possible explosions were heard. Fox Lake Fire Protection District Battalion Chief Ted Damos said firefighters arrived to find a shed fully engulfed in flames. The fire had also spread to the grass and leaves surrounding the shed. Firefighters pulled a hose line and extinguished the fire in approximately 10 minutes, Damos said. The shed was destroyed, and the contents of the shed, which included a golf cart and lawnmower, were also damaged, according to the Fox Lake Fire Protection District Deputy Chief Sam Santiago. Santiago said firefighters were able to quickly extinguish the fire before it could spread to any nearby homes. The fire occurred next to a burn pile, and it is assumed an ember started the shed on fire, Santiago said. Nearby fire departments that were initially dispatched to assist the Fox Lake Fire Protection District were disregarded due to the small size of the fire. The official cause of the fire is not believed to be suspicious in nature, but still remains under investigation. We talked about the little free pantries helping the hungry during these trying times. You can find this article on the Daily Herald. When the government shutdown resulted in the suspension of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program that provides food assistance to low-income families, members of the Carl Sandburg Middle School National Junior Honor Society got to work collecting donations for Faith Feeds, a Palatine food pantry. Club sponsor Dana Foley, an English teacher at Rolling Meadows School, said, "What my students are doing is truly giving back to the community they live in." Foley went a step further. She cleared the books off the shelf in the little free library book exchange she installed outside her Arlington Heights home 5 years ago and replaced them with cans of soup. She added a sign encouraging passerbys to help themselves. Within 24 hours, the shelf was filled with more donations, Foley said. In fact, it was overfilled, which prompted donors to deposit surplus staples on her front porch, some of which Foley delivered to Faith Feeds. Restocking the pantry daily, she intends to maintain it through the holidays. She said, "We're focusing on single-serve items that are easy to open, along with all-in-one items like single servings of macaroni and cheese and cereal in a cup with powdered milk." Increased food insecurity prompted many stewards to incorporate pantries into their little libraries, Foley said. In addition to food, some were collecting new books for holiday book drives. She added, "If I have yet to meet someone who isn't doing something now. You can't love books if you're hungry. Take what you need, leave what you can." An increase of unhoused people coming to the library and asking for resources for food banks inspired the installation of community cabinet located inside St. Charles Public Library, according to the adult services manager, Amy Villack Grimshield. Built by Aidan Miller as an Eagle Scout project, the pantry opens in February and is available during library hours. "It is a new way we can serve our community," she said. "People living paycheck to paycheck can use a little extra help. Donations from individuals and organizations, which also include pet food and hygiene products, increased after SNAP benefits ended. Contributing organizations include St. Charles Unit District 303, which earlier this month delivered proceeds from its food drive. The generosity moved Grimshield to tears. She said, "I still cry when I think about the response we've gotten from this community, how people have come together and lifted each other up in these uncertain times." She said, "It reminds me why I like to work with the public." St. Charles isn't the only library assisting patrons with food insecurity. 2 years ago, when 9-year-old Wheeling resident Maya Schaub and her father built a free pantry at the Indian Trails Public Library District as her annual birthday service project, Maya and her family stocked it initially, and Indian Trails Communications and Development Manager Jen Schmidt. Over the last year, other residents stepped in to help. Schmidt said, "It really is a community effort. Residents stock it themselves. It's a grassroots effort." In the wake of the SNAP cuts, Maya's little free pantry has been, quote, "stocked to the gills," she said. To that end, the library is hosting a food drive through November 24th. Schmidt said, "For so many people in the village, the library is their third space." Schmidt said, referring to those places people gather outside of work and home. "It's natural for the community here to rally around this." In December of 2023, about 6 months after Schaub's pantry opened at Indian Trails, the Schaumburg Township District Library followed suit and established one at its main location. 2 more were scheduled to open within months at the Hanover Park and Hoffman Estates branches, said Marketing and Communications Director Andrea Lubnick. Keeping the faith, as with the St. Charles Library and Eagle Scout project, led to the establishment of Little Free Pantry at the First Presbyterian Church of Arlington Heights about 7 years ago according to Pastor Chris Spots. He said it's part of the church's long-standing outreach toward people who are homeless and hungry, and a reason he accepted the position of senior pastor last September. He said, it's a part of the DNA, he said, of his church efforts, which include an Advent food drive to collect $2,500 and 1,000 pounds of food for local food banks. Church members kept the pantry stocked with snack foods and occasionally toiletries, he said. Toiletries, personal hygiene products, baby wipes, hand sanitizer, laundry detergent, and sunscreen are among the items available at the pantry of St. John's United Church of Christ in Arlington Heights. Jennifer Burrell and her husband, Jay Virchow, helped spearhead and maintain the pantry efforts in 2021 with significant help from the congregation. She said it was conceived as an extension of the church's public action to deliver shelter or PADS ministry to deliver shelter and food to help people who are homeless. Members of the congregation stock the pantry about twice a week. A self-described data-driven person, Boreal keeps track of the items that most often need replenishing. Tube socks, deodorant, and baby wipes are among the most popular, with toothpaste and toothbrushes, soap, travel-size hygiene products, and laundry pods. Burrell said, what's nice about the little free pantry is that it's available 24/7. It's there for anyone who needs it whenever they need it. Restocking the pantry daily fully intends to maintain it through the holidays. Read more all about this great project and more on the Daily Herald. When we come back, it'll be just a few notes about the weather and what's coming up for tomorrow. Stick around. We'll be back right after this.
Now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. The longtime Bolger farm is and its horse boarding operations have been put out to pasture. The Bolger family sold their pleasant stretch of land, 35 acres or so, off Leask Lane near the south side of Wheaton, to the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County last year. Firefighters have been using the property for training exercises. Now, the main residence and equestrian facilities are set to meet the wrecking ball. Brock Lovelace, the district engineering manager, said, in line with the district's mission to return property back to open space, this property is now being scheduled for demolition. The district's $12 million purchase of the property, also known as Gladstone Ridge by the bricks columns at the entrance to a long driveway, provides what the conservation agency has called the open space link between the Morton Arboretum and the Danda Forest Preserve, another home for horses. Such continuous natural spaces, the district has said, create, quote, vital wildlife corridors where animals can move freely. The Bolger property is surrounded on roughly 3 sides by Danda, the Arboretum, a sanctuary for trees to the south. So read more over there at the Daily Herald. Today, we've got a high of 50, while tomorrow that cloud coverage sticks around for a high of only 49, with a low of 29. Saturday, we get a little peek of that sun with our high of 51 and our low of 36. Sun is still trying to poke out through the weekend, where our high on Sunday creeps up just a little bit more for a high of 57 and a low of 37. You've been listening to the WRMN News. I'm Dennis Green. I'll see you tomorrow.